God bless everybody. Today, March 18th, critical day, turning points in front of us here. Something is about to shift. If you've watched my videos, a turning point for humanity, for the world specifically, is right in front of us, March 19th into the 20th, which means next week could be very, very epic and historic as we head into Resurrection Sunday, which is the first weekend of April. I'm telling you, we're here. Everything that we have been waiting for is in front of us. Everything that we've been planning for is in front of us. What did Andrew and I, what have we always said? Position yourself and wait. And what we're waiting for is something that God has promised, a historic silver explosion. What Andrew and myself have been saying for the past many years, we've been proven, again, this is not a matter of being right, but yes, we have been proven right. I know what the Lord has been telling me and showing me, that we're going to see a historic move on silver. As we speak, silver right now is like $77, okay? They're fighting tooth and nail to not let silver go up. It went to $121, and most everybody who's listened to us for the past many years was buying silver in the 20s and possibly 30s. So everybody right now is in a phenomenal position. So I'm bringing Andrew back on today. Very important podcast because this is what we've been waiting for. We're finally here of what's about to happen. So this is where faith comes in. You have to believe what the Lord has said through his prophets. And what did he say? It's going to explode. And what's the marker? $121. Silver is going to explode through $121. And then it's game on. It's going to get crazy when this event happens. So with all of that said as an introduction, Andrew, welcome to the show. What are you hearing on your end?
Hi, Bo. We've got a lot of people still pouring into silver. Right now is like buying silver on sale because it, like a week ago, silver was about to break $90 an ounce again. Like really, and 2 weeks ago, it was $95 an ounce. Or $93 an ounce. So $100 was just right there. And here we are sitting at 77. And one thing that I've seen in anything that I've ever invested in, whether it be stocks or cryptocurrency or gold or silver, right when you feel like I'm starting to lose hope in my decision of what I've invested in, right when you feel like you want to give up, that's when it turns. That's what the moment that you feel like you want to sell some of it, that's when everything turns. So don't give up before the miracle happens, for sure.
That is a great word, Andrew. We are in, again, it's better word than even a miracle would be prophecy fulfilled. Okay. So miracles are things that are impossible. Okay. And what Andrew and I are speaking of, it's actually a great point you brought up. We are looking for the impossible, but that's where God operates. Okay. The fact that silver right now is above $50, that's impossible. And everybody thought we were crazy when we said it's going to go blow through 50, but it happened. When it blew through 50, we said it's going to go easy into 3 digits. The marker was 121. It hit it perfectly. Okay. So everything that we have said has happened so far. The bankers, from what I have heard, when it hit 121 at the end of January, the creation where they created out of thin air, because that's what they do, make money out of thin air. So remember, if you're holding silver and gold, you're holding an asset that can't be created out of thin air. But they create money out of thin air, and they slam the price down. I believe, from what I heard, is something like $10 trillion with a T to slam the price of silver down into the 70s, into the 80s, okay, where we are right now. They will fight forever, ever, to never let silver go to 3 digits again, ever, okay, but God. So the prophecy is that silver is going to turn abruptly and violently to the upside, and it's going to explode. What are we seeing in the stock markets right now, okay? Because this is tying in with it. Andrew, which direction is the stock market going? Is it going up or down?
It's not going up. So you look at things like NVIDIA and Palantir, and really the Magnificent Seven stocks, they're really not moving up. They're not, because we're in a holding pattern. This is just a really small window in really the big picture. It's a good time to be in a safe haven.
I want to pop on the screen here. Give me a sec. The stock market. And why? Because look what the stock market is doing. Since February, we have seen the stock market dropping. And even today, as we speak, it's down and it's heading down. Okay, so why I'm saying this is because silver and gold are holding very strong. Stock market is heading downwards while silver and gold are heading in a downwards direction. So why I'm saying this is because I expect still we could see a plunge on the stock market straight down. Andrew, if you see a stock market plunge in a single day, what's the only thing the bankers can do?
Normally what they'll do is they'll print more money, but
Thank you.
It's going to make gold and silver blast off.
Thank you. Okay, actually, that was the second part of it. Okay, so the markets are cavitating and they're about to plunge. Okay, it's going to be a single day plunge. We're going to watch it happen. The only thing they can do is create money out of thin air. And when they do that, you want to see rocket fuel on silver and gold? It's coming. Mark my words. Okay, the markets are plunging. They're going to create money out of thin air. There's going to be an event on the US dollar here very shortly as well. And they're going to create money like there's no tomorrow out of thin air. And you're going to see silver and gold rocket fuel. Okay, it's going to go like no tomorrow. So again, tomorrow is New Year's Day, Nissan 1. If you've watched my videos, I've gone over that in complete detail. Nissan 1 is written in Exodus 12:2. It shall be the first day of days of months. And it specifically starts on the 19th sunset into the 20th, which means we're heading into a New Year event, which then sets us into a 16-day countdown clock into crucifixion. I'm telling you, silver and gold, I mean, if you take the word gold and you remove the L, what do you got? God. Okay? When you read Haggai 2, verse 8, it says, the silver is mine, the gold is mine, saith the Lord. I'm telling you, the Lord has shown me, everybody, this is where faith is critical. God's about to move. Everything you're seeing, when God moves, it becomes the exact opposite. So they're holding silver down, holding gold down while the stock market's dropping. But silver and gold are still holding, but they can't get up. We're about to have an event which nobody can stop. In the Bible, it's called suddenly. It's all over the Bible. And suddenly. And suddenly. But we're going to have an and suddenly moment. And everything you see in the natural, the direction of things, suddenly changes. So again, this is a very, very important podcast because, again, we've said this is the final sale. This has actually been stated prophetically as well, too. This is the final sale on silver and gold. We've said it in the past podcast or two, since they've taken it down from 121 from 3 digits. This is the final sale. And when this thing turns, it's going to go fast and hard. And the problem with that is those who want to buy it on the fast and hard, every dealer is going to shut their doors, including Andrew. And not because they don't want to sell. It's because they don't know what to do next. Because this is going to be a sudden moment where things are going to be exploding, and it's never happened before. This is a move that's never happened before. So it's going to take some time to figure out what happened and then how to deal with it. And then there will be on how to deal with it. And then Andrew and all your dealers will be able to sell again at hugely higher prices. But you'll be able to get it again, just at hugely higher prices. So that's why this right now is, again, I'm repeating, final sale, final sale, probably the last few hours or days before this thing turns and rips. Okay, so all of that said, again, this is all about God's money, faith in what's written, faith in what the prophets have said. And lastly, it comes down to, if you have faith, you position yourself and wait upon the Lord. So positioning yourself. There are many people who are greatly positioned right now. Andrew can talk about that in a second. There are others that want to still add a little more to their stack. And there's others that maybe want to swap some gold for silver. So there's a lot of things you can do. So Andrew, talk about the things that you're doing in your business right now. Like, what are the key things or mostly that you're seeing in the market right now for gold and silver, and availability as well too? Go ahead.
Sometimes the best chatting that we do is before you hit the record button. And we have people that have already made investments in gold and silver with us that are taking a look at what they have now. And without coming out of pocket, in many cases, they're exchanging gold that they have that they're already up a lot on for more silver. And this is something that might not have seemed as attractive, say, back in January when gold was when silver was over $100 an ounce. So it really is a good time to reposition. So if you have a lot of gold that you've received from us in different transactions, reach out to us, reach out to the associate that you're working with and just say, hey, have them look at your account, have them review your account and see if it makes sense for them to exchange some of their gold for silver. In many cases, it will make sense. And just to look at numbers, because we talk about prophecy, and I don't deny anything that you mentioned as far as prophecy, because you've proven me right so many times. Last year, when silver was between $20 and $30 an ounce, I saw silver go up like $8 in a single day. It was last year when, just to refresh people's memory, we started 2025 with silver at $28.84 an ounce. So at that time, if you go back and watch the videos that you posted just from January of 2025, you could hear us talking about what we expect to happen if silver were to break $30 an ounce. And it did break 30, and we knew that it would pull back under 30 a couple more times, establish 30 as the new support level, and then eventually blast off. And I remember you very specifically saying that we're going to see days where silver gaps up $9 an ounce in a single day. And I just remember thinking, I just want silver to hold above $30 an ounce. I mean, $9, how's exactly is that going to happen? And I mean, it really was like December of last year, we started seeing like $7 and $8 moves to the upside.
We were texting each other. It was fun.
Yeah, it really happened. So one thing that's really great about the interviews that we do is that you're looking at things from a prophetic view. So a $9 upward movement in a single day is nothing compared to what you've seen and your understanding of the Bible and tying that into gold and silver. But for me, I'm just looking at just pure numbers and past performance, and looking at that. I believed what you were saying. I did. It's just I needed to see it.
I'm sorry, Andrew, but I've seen and spoken with many precious metals dealers, and they're in the business of precious metals. Okay, I'm telling you, Andrew, you've been around the prophetic. You've met Amanda Grace, Julie Green. Like, he's been on the tour with us. So if there is one man who is seasoned to the prophetic, it's Andrew. So he's seen it. He's seen it happen. And because of that, that's why Andrew has been coming on here for a long time, because it's hard for him to see it, maybe to a degree, but he does believe because he's seen these things happen, and he's seen the prophetic on stage. He's seen the whole thing manifest in living color, in live action. So that's why I truly, of everybody, use and only use Andrew, because of all the people I've ever met, he's the only one that truly has faith in what we're talking about and really believes, because these things are crazy that we're talking about. They are, but they're happening.
Yeah, there's no underestimating the power of the people's faith in God. I mean, one example is that we have a couple that rolled over about $13 million worth of stocks in their IRA into precious metals back in 2021. I saw the stocks that they sold. It was like Google, Apple, and NVIDIA. And those are stocks that did really well in those first couple of years. They actually outperformed the gold and silver that they traded into. And since then, Now, when you look at the whole 4 to 5 years, gold and silver have blown way past what those stocks have done. And they never wavered. They said, this isn't our money. This is God's money. We're just trying to be faithful stewards of what we've been blessed with. And I'm like, okay, so you get it. You get it. But not everybody does. But
Yeah.
we've really provided a great service here, leading people to what we believe is going to happen. So now when I think about the prospect of $300 an ounce silver, or even $600 an ounce silver, which you've shown us the path of how it can get there. You've broken it down so many times. It can happen.
Talk about the one gentleman that called you. Some of the conversation got in. He goes, "Oh, I'm not worried. I'm just loading me up because I know it's going to $600." Isn't that a conversation you had this past week?
Yeah, there was somebody that was going to exchange some of their silver for gold. And this conversation's been going on for about a week. It's $1 million deal. And he's seen silver go down almost $10 an ounce in that week. And for many people, that would have just solidified their decision to get out of the silver because they get scared. To make an emotion-based trade is completely wrong. Right. It's not something you ever want to do. You want to base your decisions on fact. The scared money doesn't make you any money. It really doesn't. It puts you in a position to lose. And this person just said, hey, I'm going to hold off because I believe silver is going to $600 an ounce. So my sales associate, not all of them watch the different interviews. I'm on so many of them, so they don't understand it. I broke down to him how it can happen. And he said, okay, I just wasn't aware of that. Him waiting for silver to hit $600 an ounce just solidifies the initial sale that you made to him in the first place.
And it's true, because the problem is these numbers that we're stating, like $600 an ounce, back to the start of the conversation, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Right? It's crazy. And I agree. Actually, and this is why you got to step away from the word crazy and then use the word impossible. And why I say impossible, because again, if you understand scriptures, that's where God operates. Okay. So everything that we've been talking about, precious metals, this is not about an investment. This is specifically about faith in what God is saying through his prophets and faith in what God's plan is. God's plan is very simple. Flip the financial scales, destroy the Federal Reserve note. Okay, so destroy Babylon's money because that's enslaved everybody. We talk about it all the time. I'm going to say it again, but they just created it out of thin air. Okay, it's created out of thin air. We've done podcasts on it. It's $110.8 trillion right now of the top 25 nations that even AI will admit to. I got the clip on it that literally they stated that 110.8 trillion of the top 25 nations has been created out of thin air, okay, from the ability to expand credits. That's what they call it. They don't call it money creation. They call it money expansion. But it's money creation out of thin air. So this is all about faith. What's faith? God said he's going to flip the financial scales. Haggai 2:8. The silver is mine, the gold is mine, saith the Lord. Proverbs 13:22. The wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous. God is going to fulfill that scripture. He's going to flip the financial scales. And those who were wise stewards, like Andrew said, use the word wise stewards, are going to be in an incredibly awesome position to do what? To help bring the name of Christ to the four corners of the earth. Okay? And this is important. He who controls the money supply determines which God he's going to push. The globalist Federal Reserve has nothing to do with the Bible. These are globalists from London, England, that created the Federal Reserve, and they're promoting their gods, lowercase g with an S. That's what they're doing. Okay. Why does the flipping of the scale have to happen? Because unless the dollar is dethroned as the world reserve currency, these people won't stop. What do we say? If the stock market plunges, what are they going to do? Create money out of thin air, like they always do. They did that in 2020. Trillions of dollars out of thin air just to prop the stock market back up again. Okay. So this is not an investment. This is faith in what the Lord has promised, faith in what's written in scripture, faith in what the plan is to be a part of the Josephs to bring forth the kingdom of Christ to the four corners of the earth. And so, with all of that said, Andrew has an incredible business here in California. And what I love about his service is, I've said it before, I'll say it again: fast, fast, fast. He doesn't sell anything that he doesn't have or can't get his hands on. So when people work with him and his staff, they get delivery. And I've said it before, say it again: the most uncomfortable time is when you make an arrangement to buy precious metals, you send the wire or the check, and then there's nothing. Like, you don't have the metals and you don't have the money. So you want that window as small as possible, a short window until the stuff arrives, so that you're not waiting weeks upon weeks. Because I'm telling you, there's a lot of funny stuff, let's leave it at that, going on in the precious metal space. A lot of funny stuff that's been going on in the precious metal space for a long time. Why? Because people know that most people getting involved in precious metals really don't understand how to do it, because no one was taught this in high school. No one really understands, like, very few people really understand how to buy, how to transact, how to get precious metals, how you can buy them, which ones to buy, which shouldn't I buy, what should I buy? It's a whole different space. So knowing all that, Andrew, precious metals, what's available is a lot available right now. What do you recommend people, start off with? If they've got already, what should they be adding? And then also talk about 401ks and IRAs, because I think that's a very important thing for people to understand, that they might have these incredible 401ks or IRAs, which is great. I'm happy for them. But if you don't even own gold or silver in these IRAs or 401ks, the problem is history is going to prove you to be wrong, because every money system ever created eventually has a massive problem. And so the US dollar is about to have a massive problem. So talk about, 401ks, IRAs, precious metals, what you prefer. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah. So I love the option of using a retirement account and rolling it into a precious metals IRA. Most of the time this can be done. If you have an IRA, it can be rolled into a precious metals IRA 100% of the time. If you have a 401k, that can be rolled over into a precious metals IRA, as long as you're no longer working for the firm that 401k was originated at. In some cases, you still can roll over a portion of the 401k if you're still working at the place that it was originated at. So you should check with your human resources at your job to be able to see if that's possible. We have people that have simple IRAs, pensions through the government, the TSP accounts. They have 403bs, they have inherited IRAs. Those can all be rolled over into a precious metals IRA. When you do this, it's not a taxable event. It's a great way to do it, because most people start off by investing in gold and silver with a little bit of cash that they might have in their checking account, or maybe proceeds from a home that maybe they sold, or stocks that they've actually sold as well. Well, they don't realize that you can use part of your retirement to be able to do that. It's not a permanent investment. It's not like you can never get out of it. It's real physical gold and silver that's stored at a depository in Delaware that you can have it delivered to you anytime you want. The only thing is, if you do have it delivered to you, that is a taxable event. So it's better to just leave it in the depository where it doesn't create a tax consequence. So these are ways that we've been able to help people over the years. We manage 1.7 billion in retirement account funds that hold physical gold and silver. We've got over 5,000 clients that we've personally onboarded into this program, and those people are happy, especially the ones that have been in for the last 1.5 to 5 years. They've done very, very well. So available supply. Right now, we can get most silver items out there, and same with gold. It won't be that way for long, but right now everything is available, and people should reach out to us as soon as possible, because the premiums have dropped and they're relatively low as well.
In terms of getting a hold of you, simplest way, I've got your website up here. So what should they do with your website? Make it nice and simple for everybody, because again, time is short. I just really want everybody to have the ultimate opportunity, not have questions.
To find our website, it's bh-pm.com. I believe Bo's had a QR code on the screen that you can scan. That'll take you right to the website. Almost every page on the website has that form that you can see right there. You can go in there and schedule a consultation. Say that Bo Polny sent you, say gold 2020 forecast, be as detailed as you can. If you're somebody like Bo that's invested in silver for years and don't really need a consultation, but just want to see what it is that we have, then put that in the notes section. If you're a complete newbie and don't know much about it and need a little bit of hand holding through the process, then put that in there. I've got many different associates that can help all types of investors, and we're not going to try to bully you into making an investment right on that phone call. We want you to do it when you're comfortable.
I want to give a little more about prophecy, okay? So again, this is all about faith and prophecy, positioning yourself and waiting. So the prophecy goes like this: gold will go off the charts. That means straight high. And then silver becomes an item of economic security. In other words, it goes multiples of what gold does, okay? So again, this is just prophecy of what God has stated, but it makes sense because, again, this ties in with ratios that I've been studying for a long time. And we know that, those that go dig gold out of the ground, typically the ratio, if you dig an ounce of gold, you normally get around 10 to 14 ounces of silver. And right now, I haven't checked today, but I think it's been like in the 60s or something like that. I'm sure it's in that 60 range. So it's still 6 times more manipulated. So that means silver is, say, 5 or 6 times more manipulated than gold, which means that when gold begins to accelerate, and Andrew has a saying, what's good for gold is great for silver. And the reason being is because when that ratio starts to approximate the 10 to 1, you're going to see silver outperforming gold, and it's going to narrow the ratio, which means that as gold moves vertically in price, silver is going to be accelerating to narrow the ratio. So it could, in theory, and this is not even theory because it's prophecy, it will at least, right as of where it is now, have a 5-fold potential increase in value relative to gold. So as good as gold's going to be, just the ratio itself is telling us right now that silver will do a 5-fold in time, not overnight, but in time of that of gold. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, I did a little calculation while you were speaking, and most of us believe that gold can double from where it's at now. If it did, that would mean that if silver were to go up at the same ratio, that would make silver $157.48 an ounce. But the thing that needs to be added into that is what you just talked about, the acceleration. Because if gold were to go from 5,000 to 10,000 an ounce, that's good. But what's good for gold is great for silver. It won't be an equal move. Silver would probably go up 3 to 4 times. If silver went up 4 times as much on gold's way to $10,000 an ounce, that's how we have $600 an ounce silver. It's certainly possible, and really nothing's possible unless you can see how it can get there. And we've mapped out so many times how silver can get there. So for me, rather than having those dollars sitting in the bank earning just a fraction of a percent, which is a joke in the bank account, it's better to just have it in a long-term hold. Holding silver is a minimum 3 to 5 year hold in most cases. If you give it that amount of time, I think you'll be very pleased with what you've done.
Back to what we started with: faith, faith, and faith. Okay, this is not an investment that we're talking about. This is positioning yourself for what God's about to do, for what God's promised through his servants, the prophets, what God has written, in other words, what's written scripturally. And those who have listened to us, are all in a very good position. Why? Because everything we've been stating, specifically what I've been talking about, the moves that are coming, we're witnessing it. We're not still sitting at $20 saying, hey, it's coming. No, we're at $77 already. When it was in 20s and 30s, we said this would happen. So now we're here, okay? We're here, and we're now looking for the big one. And the big one is truly the explosion, okay, which we have not seen. An explosion's coming, and I'll wrap it up. Again, we're stepping into New Year's Day biblically, which is written in Exodus 12:2. It starts Nisan 1, which is tomorrow, the 19th, heading into Friday, and then comes next week, and then comes the next 16 days into month end and the first couple days of April. So I just want to tell everybody, this is what we've been waiting for. We're here. And I just want to thank Andrew, for always coming on and just, having these conversations with me, because some of them that we have, they're impossible conversations. But yet we're sitting today at $77, and we witnessed with our own eyes $121 silver. So, Andrew, thank you for being here. Take us out. Any last words that you have?
It's definitely not too late. If you feel like you could have got silver when it was $18 an ounce and didn't, and it's hard for you to move into it, knowing that silver's in the high 70s, it's not too late. Get into silver based on where you think it's headed. If you're like us and you think silver is going to break $100 an ounce soon and eventually go into the multiples of hundreds and possibly be as much as $600 an ounce, then take that first step by reaching out to us, schedule a consultation, gain the information necessary so that you can make an educated decision when you're ready, because we never want to make emotional decisions when it comes to investing your hard-earned dollars. So please reach out soon.
Thank you, Andrew. God bless everybody. I just want to finish with, what a glorious time to be alive. We're about to see something historic go down in this world. And, I just want to thank everybody for jumping on podcasts with us and listening to what Andrew and I have been saying over all these years. And we're very blessed that you've listened to us. Thank you for your trust, because it did take trust. And we've heard a lot of incredible comments from people over the years, especially in the past few months, Andrew. Yeah. How, everywhere we go, it's like, wow, thanks for really talking about what was going to happen. And a lot of people have listened to us. And so we've really, in our hearts, we really feel that we've pointed people in the right direction. So thank you, Andrew. Thank you, everybody, for listening. God bless. Be well. Glory days. We are so close to the greatest time point in human history. Be well.
Beverly Hills Precious Metals Exchange is a client-focused firm devoted to assisting our clients with precious metals. Our clients range from first-time to serious coin collectors and investors seeking to add precious metals to their investment portfolios. We are not interested in volatile investments, leveraged products, and intangible assets. With rising inflation and the devaluing of the dollar hurting middle-class families, investing in gold and silver ensures protection for your hard-earned money. Save the value of your money today by investing in gold and silver at Beverly Hills Precious Metals.